Most budgets fail, not because you're bad with money, and not because you're lazy, and not because you lack discipline. The reason they fail is because they were never built for how real life actually works. If you've ever downloaded a budgeting app, filled in a bunch of categories, felt really good about it for about 4 days, and then completely abandoned it by the second week, I need you to know that that's not a personal failure. That's a design failure. Today, I'm going to walk you through the one budget method that has actually stuck for me and for a lot of people I know, because it doesn't ask you to be perfect. It doesn't ask you to track 15 categories, and it works whether you've got a little breathing room or you're stretched pretty thin. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to have something you can actually start using this month. Let's start with why popular methods fail many of us. You've probably heard of the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings. On paper, that sounds clean. In real life, rent alone can eat way more than 50% of what you actually bring home, especially right now with how much everything is costing. So the second you try to follow that rule and it doesn't match your reality, you feel like you've already failed before you've even started. Then there's the classic derailed budget, the one where you make categories for groceries, and a category for gas, and a category for entertainment, and a category for pet supplies, and on and on. That kind of budget works great for exactly 1 week, the week you're motivated and excited. Then life happens. You have an unexpected expense, or you just don't feel like logging every single purchase, and the whole system collapses. And it takes your motivation down with it. See, here's the thing that nobody tells you. A budget doesn't fail because you didn't try hard enough. It fails because it was too complicated to survive contact with a normal, busy, unpredictable life. So instead of asking you to master a complicated system, I want to show you something simpler. I call it the stack. The idea behind the stack is this. Instead of dividing your money into a bunch of percentages or categories, you put your expenses in order of priority, and you pay them in that order, one at a time, until the money runs out or you run out of expenses. That's it. No spreadsheet with 20 tabs, no app you have to open every single day. Just a list in order of priority. Remember, that tells you exactly what to handle first. Let's build your stack together right now. The first thing at the top of your stack is always the absolute essentials. This means the roof over your head so that your rent or your mortgage is paid. It means your utilities, so the things that keep your home functioning, like electricity and water and heat, are taken care of. It means basic food, so groceries, not takeout, actual groceries that you can cook with. And it means the transportation you need to get to work, whether that's gas money or a transit pass. Those four things come first, always. No exceptions, no negotiating. Why these four and not something else? Because these are the things that keep your life stable. If these four are covered, you have a place to sleep, your lights stay on, you can eat, and you can get to work to keep earning money. Everything else can wait a beat if it has to. Once those four are covered, the next thing in your stack is your minimum payments on anything you owe. This is your credit card minimum, your car payment, any loan payment that's due. I'm not talking about aggressively paying down debt right now. I'm talking about the minimum amount that keeps you in good standing and keeps late fees and damage to your credit off the table. After your essentials and your minimum payments, the next slot in your stack is a small cushion, even if it's small, tiny, tiny. $5 a week, it doesn't matter. This is where a lot of people think they need to save a huge amount or it's not worth doing. And that mindset keeps people stuck at zero for years. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. It can be $20, it can be $50, it can be $10, whatever you can genuinely spare after the first two levels of your stack. The amount matters way less than the habit of it showing up in the stack every single time. After your cushion, everything else falls into what's left. This includes the things that make life feel like a life, not just a survival exercise. Subscriptions, a dinner out, a little something for yourself. These things aren't wrong to want, And I'm not here to tell you to cut every small joy out of your life to prove you're being reasonable with money. No. What the stack does is make sure the essentials and the stability pieces are locked in first, okay? So that whatever you spend after that isn't going to put your housing or your utilities at risk. Now let's actually walk through what this looks like with real numbers, because I don't want to leave this abstract. Let's say you bring home $2,500 this month. First, you go down your stack. Rent is $1,200. Utilities are $150. Groceries are $300. Transportation is $100. That's $1,750 gone, and you still have $750 left. So next in the stack, your minimum payments. Let's say that's $200 across a credit card and a small loan, maybe. Now you're down to $550. Next, your cushion. You decide on $100 this month. Now you're at $450. Whatever's left in that $450 is yours to use for the rest of your life. Your subscriptions, a little fun, anything else that comes up. And here's the part that matters the most. If 1 month is tighter than usual, if your hours got cut or an unexpected bill shows up, you don't panic and abandon the whole system. You just work down the stack as far as the money goes. Now, maybe this month the cushion is $5 instead of $100. Maybe this month there's nothing left over for extras at all. That's not you failing at budgeting. That's the stack doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is protect the things at the top of the stack, no matter what's happening underneath. This is the biggest difference between the stack and a lot of the budgeting advice that you've probably heard in the past. Most budgets are built assuming your income and expenses stay the same every single month. And if anything changes, the whole plan falls apart and you feel like you did something wrong. The stack is built assuming things change, because for most of us they do. Some months are tighter. Some months you've got more room. There are always unexpecteds, right? The order stays the same. Only the amount you're able to put toward each level is what shifts. I also want to be really clear about something. This isn't a system that requires you to be rich, and it's not a system that only works if you're barely getting by either. It's an order of operations that works no matter where you're starting from, because it's built around priority, not around a fixed percentage that may or may not match your paycheck. If you've got more room this month, great. More of it flows down the stack into the savings and the extras. If you've got less room, the stack still tells you exactly where your money needs to go first, so that you're never second guessing yourself. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Grab a piece of paper or open a notes app and just write out your own stack. Start with your essentials, your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, your transportation. That's the top of the stack. Then I want you to list your minimum debt payments. Then decide what your cushion looks like this month, even if it's small. Then everything else falls in after that. You don't need a fancy tool for this, okay? You don't need to download anything. You just need the order written down somewhere where you'll actually look at it, and the willingness to follow it in order every time money comes in. That's really the whole method. It's not flashy. It's not going to give you a color-coded pie chart, but it's the kind of thing that actually survives a real month, a busy month, a month where life throws something at you that you didn't even plan. And that's what makes a budget actually work. Not how detailed it is, but whether or not you can still follow it when things get messy. If this helped you see budgeting a little differently, I'd love for you to stick around, because this is exactly the kind of thing that we talk about here on Marry Money. Building a healthier relationship with your money, one real, doable step at a time. Hit subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Joanne signing off.